Allison Young, you do it all. Title-wise, you're a musician, educator, and arts marketer. Instrument-wise, you play baritone saxophone, alto saxophone, flute, clarinet, and bass clarinet. You explore both jazz and classical realms as a saxophone player and woodwind doubler. Performance credits include Dick Oates, Jeff Hamilton, Wayne Bergeron, Greg Gisbert, Randy Brecker, Tia Fuller, Terrell Stafford, Father John Misty, and Miss Lauren Hill, what to name a few. You have recorded with the Zaremba Fellowship Orchestra, Ted Davies Big Band, and the Colorado Jazz Repertory Orchestra. Today, at KUVO's Bonfils Staten Performance Studio, you played here with Kate Williams. She played trumpet and piano, Domi Edson on bass, and Ian Spillman on drums. The Allison Young Quartet met and formed while attending the University of Northern Colorado. You have performed at venues across Colorado such as Nocturne, The Muse, and 477 Distilling. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about your band?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. This is so much fun. So the Allison Young Quartet is made up of Kate Williams, Domi Edson, and Ian Spillman, like you just said. We met while all attending the University of Northern Colorado, and it's an interesting instrumentation because it's baritone, saxophone, trumpet, bass, and drum, so there's no chordal instrument. So we take inspiration from the chordless sound of the Gerry Mulligan, Chet Baker original cordless quartet. So sometimes, as you heard today, Kate Williams is also a fantastic piano player, and so we did a tribute to the Monk Meets Mulligan album, and she played some piano. But we are really just paying tribute to the music and instrumentation of Gerry Mulligan, who is one of my biggest influences as a baritone saxophonist and just musician and saxophonist in general.
Yeah, I love baritone sax. What is your musical origin story? How did you get into music?
So I started in piano lessons when I was really young, maybe kindergarten, first grade. And then fifth grade band class came around, and I always thought the saxophone sounded kind of cool just from hearing it on the radio. And so I almost chose clarinet, but I ended up going with saxophone, and I still play clarinet anyway, of course. Unfortunately, fortunately. But so I just chose saxophone, and I stuck with it. And I didn't really get to explore the baritone until I got to college, and someone was looking for a baritone player in a big band. And so I tried it out, and it really stuck. And I feel like that's where my voice lies on the instrument, and I've really enjoyed it. That's
how I hear it happen sometimes. Like the instrument chooses you because there's a need.
Yep.
And here you are. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from your own band, you're also a pretty big collaborator in the music community here in Colorado. You're often seen performing locally as a band leader and a side woman for groups such as the Colorado Jazz Repertory Orchestra, the Annie Booth Big Band, the Drew Zaremba Jazz Fellowship Orchestra, and the Greeley Philharmonic Orchestra. Collaboration is an important pillar in your work. Can you talk about why you find it important and what you feel there is to gain by stepping outside of your own work and joining forces with others?
Yeah, absolutely. I think collaboration is maybe my favorite part about music. The people in music are what make it so special, I think, a lot of the times. And so meeting new people through music and through all of these opportunities that I've been, fortunate enough to have has been a huge highlight of my career. And I really love being a side person, as much as I love doing this and getting to choose the music and everything like that, playing baritone in a big band I could do that for the rest of my life and be happy, I think it's really great playing other people's music and, meeting and working with new people, and collaborating and being open to new ideas is what makes music special. And that's how new ideas form and new bands form and new projects form and cool things are made. And so, yeah, I love doing as much as possible. I started out as a classical saxophonist, so I love classical music. I love jazz. I was lucky enough to play with Miss Lauren Hill and the Fugees, so like funk and R&B and rap, like that stuff is so cool. Basically, if you call me to do something, I would love to do it. So, Yeah, I love just being a side person and fitting into somebody else's work and helping shape that to be the best thing it can be.
Yeah, and you bring a little bit of yourself to all the work that you do.
Yeah.
What are some of collaborations that you've had that you're particularly fond of, or you walked away learning something really valuable?
Yeah, I mean, I think I try to learn something new from every gig that I have. I think you can take away something from literally everyone, no matter whether they're maybe better than you, worse than you, different from you, same, you know. I think one of my favorite opportunities has been the Drew Zaremba Jazz Fellowship. So that band kind of formed in its Colorado edition, at least, when I was still a senior at the University of Northern Colorado, and I was in Drew Zaremba's class. And he was forming this band to do a big band record, his first big band record, and he needed a bari player. I was the only undergrad student in the band. And so I was just like so nervous to even be in the same room as all my professors and these absolutely incredible, Denver and Colorado musicians. But some of them are some of my best friends now and people that I still collaborate with. And I learned a lot just about how to play in a big band, saxophone technique and everything like that, but also just professionalism, how to run a recording session, things like that. And Drew's been great enough to get me now working in the Colorado Jazz Repertory Orchestra. Yes. And those concerts are so much fun, and we get to explore a new realm of big band work every time we do a show, which is a huge learning opportunity for me and something that I really love. So yeah, I think a lot of those big band stuff has been my favorite to do.
There's nothing like a big band. It just feels so good.
Absolutely.
You foster creativity as part of the work you do as a musician and an educator. So this work that you did today on KUVO, it's Gerry Mulligan inspired. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about that process and how you brought your creativity into it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think inherently, it's Gerry Mulligan's work. So I didn't do any writing. I didn't do a ton of arranging. Actually, I pulled some arrangements that my friends had done, and they were kind enough to let me use them. And I did some transcriptions. It was a lot of transcribing work. Mm-hmm. But I think inherently this is creative music because you don't have the chordal instrument. The horn players, we can really support each other and improvise backing lines behind each other, and it gives you a little bit more freedom with the harmony if you want, with the rhythm if you want. Mm-hmm. And so it's like inherently you can get creative and put your own spin on it. I love sounding like Gerry Mulligan because I love his sound, but also, I hope I sound like Allison Young as well. Yeah. So it's a careful balance that I feel like we've achieved really well, and mm-hmm. something that I really, really enjoy.
You're also an educator. You lead private studio lessons and work with local middle school and high school band programs, hosting workshops and master classes. Can you talk about, maybe how this next generation is interpreting jazz, or what advice you've given to students that are trying to find their voice just as an educator and working with creativity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I really love talking with young musicians, and it's really interesting watching everybody's unique story, because everyone comes to music from a different place and is at a different place and is at, a different place in their journey at different levels. And so it's really interesting to see how everyone is learning about music and doing things differently. I think my advice for young musicians, and what I try to instill in whether it be a lesson or a masterclass, is just to be open to the music, keep listening, really love what you do. If you are loving the music, something I heard once that I always love is, if you take care of the music will take care of you. So I try to keep that in mind, and I think if you start doing that even from a young age and just having fun and listening, and loving it while you also put in the work and work hard and everything like that, I think it can take you really far.
Listening, that's so important.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about your current project in the works. I was reading that you had some performances that were recorded here in Colorado, and you're looking to release a live album. Can you talk about that? Yeah,
it's still in the early stages, but this group, we recently did a show at the Muse Performance Space in Lafayette, and then also at the Nocturne Jazz and Supper Club in Denver. And my good friend and colleague Ted Davies came and recorded both shows. So we have a bunch of recordings that I'm currently sifting through in the hopes of doing a live album of this music. So a few of the all the tunes that you heard today, and then some of the others that we brought to the live shows, and TBD on a release date and track lists and everything like that. But we also had some fun guests stop by the Nocturne show that I would love to feature on that album as well. So still in the works, but hopefully coming later this year.
Do you love playing live? Is that like where you're find you're more comfortable?
I do. It's really fun. I also tend to overthink a lot, especially in a studio setting. Yeah. And I know that if we went into the studio and tried to do this, I would want to take 100 takes of everything. And my perfectionist self would win, and Domi, Kate, and Ian would hate me. And so I was like, if I do this live, I have to limit it. So by recording all 3 sets, it gave you a couple takes, but it was still, take it or leave it. So absolutely. And I really like listening to live recordings as well. And so I think having the audience there and knowing it's just one take, I think it's a cool aspect, especially with a music as, live and energetic and communicative as this is. This is just super fun music to play. And so I think the audience always ends up really enjoying it too. And so we can feel that energy. And the idea of capturing that energy on a recording was really exciting.
Yeah. So. That's the best kind of energy. So another thing that is important to you is inclusivity. You stand for it as a musician, an educator, and an arts marketer. We're currently in March, Women's History Month. Can you talk about women representation in jazz bands or in the jazz scene in general?
Absolutely. It's no secret that women are underrepresented in this art form, and it is something that we are working towards, every day. Luckily enough, in Denver, there are some absolutely amazing women on the scene that have played here, and are playing all around. Annie Booth, Dawn Clement, Brianna Harris, Bailey Hinckley-Grogan. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So Kate Williams, Domi Edson. Are you kidding? Often I am the only woman in the big band or the only woman in the band. And so even just getting for this project, it's 3 out of 4 of us are women. So that is it's been such a unique experience, and one that I have cherished so much because it's so much fun to play music with other women and friends. And there are so many great ones. But yeah, there's some amazing things happening for women in jazz right now. And slowly but surely, we're getting more of us in there, but it's certainly a difficult at times experience to be, one of the only women in the room.
Well, it's exciting to see more and more women in jazz. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favorite women jazz musicians that you're listening to or you enjoy playing, just so I can add them to my list selfishly?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, first of all, everyone that I named from Colorado, there are some amazing ones. I'm really influenced by a lot of vocalists. So Ella Fitzgerald is my girl, forever and always. But alive today, Samara Joy, outstanding vocalist, Cyrilla May, saxophonist Alexa Tarantino and Nicole Glover. Carla Bley just passed away, unfortunately, but she has some amazing compositions. Christine and Ingrid Jensen are another few of my favorites. The list goes on and on. It's going to be hard to name everybody, but that's certainly a few.
Start.
That's a good start. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Any last things that you want to, any sentiments on the band and what you're trying to accomplish this year with your quartet? I know you have your live album coming up, but anything else that you wanted to shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm playing around Denver all year, all the time. Not always with this group, but you can find out more about me on my website, AllisonYoungMusic.com. I hope everybody enjoyed listening today. This is, like I said, this is some of my favorite music to listen to and favorite music to play. And the thing I love about it is that the music to me seems so joyful, and it's just fun, and everyone is there to have a good time. There's no ego about it. It's just happy, uplifting music. And so I hope that you enjoyed listening as much as we have enjoyed playing. And I really look forward to seeing where this group goes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Allison, for coming to KUVO and the Allison Young Quartet. Thank you so much for playing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.